This time with feeling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just blame Telesto right off the hop there.
I think.
Right. Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Dan was using Telesto to stream, and then Bungie disabled it.
Look,
Boom.
hold on. I only used it to paint Nim as a chicken dish. And then after he was fully shredded, I then used somebody else used Vex Mythoclast, and it knocked off my entire OBS.
Pulled apart.
It was beautiful. You dropped those tender chicken nuggets right all over Nim, and then somebody whipped out Vex and started seasoning him, and that's why he looks like this.
If we say too much more, this might become not safe for work. I don't know.
Right. Oh, I mean, hey, looks good to me.
I love that I'm getting blamed for the stream going down.
I mean, it probably is.
I mean, I'll accept it.
I'm actually Telesto, just skinned as a person.
There is a whole lot of purple behind you.
I'm an organic Telesto, baby.
Literally can't get rid of it.
100%.
There's nothing that Bungie can do about it. They can take it out of the game. It'll pop up in the streams.
I'm the Telesto you get at Trader Joe's. 100% organic and original.
100% grade A
100%.
USDA Telesto.
Right. It's the fusion that just keeps on giving.
Join Suttledge today.
It's like we got that Halloween movie that's out. Mike Myers is back after 40 years. Pulls off the mask. It's just Telesto. It's just Telesto for 40 years going around messing with people's lives.
Yep, exactly.
Jesus.
What if
I thought whenever Jamie Lee Curtis said that she was gonna, to do the one thing to stop Mike Myers, I thought that she was just gonna take away his shatter dive.
Oh. Mike Myers would be a hunter.
Oh, he would 100%.
Absolutely would be a hunter. Yeah, I think Mike Myers is a hunter.
He's definitely a hunter.
Oh, he's
come on,
100% not.
He is. Oh, you think he's a warlock up there reading the encyclopedia in between massacres?
No, if anything, he's a Titan. If anything, he's a Titan. He's just like
Jason.
Yeah,
Jason's a Titan. Mike Myers is always hiding. Yeah. Like he's hiding until the absolute last second. That's Hunter.
Literally,
that's a hunter.
That's his mask of Bacchus. That's why his skin is so weird.
He's literally got the mask of Bacchus on.
Literally.
He goes invisible until he's right about to kill you. Jason is a Titan. That dude just kind of like walks out the water like, oh, I forgot to breathe, bro.
No, I'm telling you.
I died as a kid because I forgot to breathe and then blamed it on horny.
Yoshi and Caveman. Yoshi and Caveman in chat have my back. They 100% say it's
well, that's all right. You can have as many wrong people as you want. Yeah. The sky is still blue.
I'll take them all. I'll take them all.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor and just say that chat is always right, and then I'll back you up on that.
Yeah, chat is always right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yep. Creepers is a warlock, and I will die on that hill.
Oh, G100. The Creeper is a warlock. That dude is pulling all kinds of hacking nonsense out of his his overcoat.
Yep. Absolutely.
What is Chucky?
A thrall.
He's that really annoying drag that just comes out of nowhere.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, he's a mini Screeb.
Oh, no.
Yeah. True.
Very true. That's a dislike. Don't like that.
Absolutely.
I kind of like the notion of that, though. Imagining famous movie monsters and what class they would play.
Hi, welcome to my Twitter page. This is Destiny classes as monster villains.
There we go.
Sounds like a TikTok series right there.
Hey,
is Freddy a hunter or a warlock? Because there's no way he's a Titan. He's too cowardly to be a Titan.
Someone in chat said that he is a warlock.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
He's in your dreams, man.
Yeah, he's
in dreams.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think who Pinhead would be.
A Titan, 100%.
100%?
You think?
I'm thinking Pinhead is a Scorn. Just aesthetically speaking, he kind of looks like he'd be a Scorn.
He definitely looks like Thickerel had something to do with it.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of like more monster villains. I haven't. Man, I can't.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. Go.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have had the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I know.
No, we have dinosaurs, baby.
I know I'm all about dinos, but like, there's a
That makes
part
me
of me
mad.
that's like, I voted for the monsters.
Team Monster all the way, man.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
Monster as well.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was. I was like, no shot we lose this. I thought it was monsters were gonna win all day long, but
I thought so
Nope.
too.
Too many
And
kids grew up with Power
unfortunately-
Rangers, unfortunately.
I mean, I was one of those kids, but I still went Monsters
yeah,
Don't sleep
That's
on the Megazord.
because I am smart.
that
Mhm.
Cyclops was awesome.
Yeah,
looks
the
so
Ray
good.
Harryhausen Cyclops. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
Real
Hunters
shame we
could have been
didn't
a
get it.
freaking Hunters could have been a freaking kaiju if they wanted, but no, we're
Dino Boys.
fucking dinosaurs.
Here's the secret,
We're Dino
Nim.
Boys.
I've always been a kaiju.
Okay, Dan. Okay. Okay.
no.
I
Okay.
don't think the Halloween episodes could
We get it. You're tall.
started any better. Pretty big man.
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 297 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to this week in Destiny. We are back once again to talk about all the goings-on in the Destiny 2 universe, and we've got quite a few things to cover. We've got Festival of the Lost going on this week. We've got Grandmaster Nightfalls are now live, and we've got a very, very special guest. The one, the only, Suttledge is joining us for the show.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. It's great to have you here.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Doing good. And I mean, as good as you can do in some of the spooky worlds of Destiny that we've got going on right now with weird Shattered Realm nonsense, Grandmaster goofiness, Festival of the Lost being great, and then not, and all the other things going on like Trials. So,
Oh, trials.
gonna have quite a few things to discuss over the course of this episode, and we're super happy that you're joining us this week.
I'm super happy and grateful to be here.
Right on. As for the rest of us, of course, you know the rest. We've got Mr. Danfinity.
Hi. Hopefully nothing else breaks.
Sorry. You unequipped Telesto, right? You put it back in the vault.
Or did I?
Something's gonna break. We don't know what, we don't know when, but something is gonna break. And it's probably gonna be Nim Plays who breaks it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Look, I'm just a simple plate of chicken. I can't do shit.
You're looking mighty tasty over there.
Looking mighty tasty.
That's all I can do at this point. I can just
Yeah.
look like a fucking snack and that's it.
Mad
Oh!
Scrum Diddly, 10 out of 10.
Right on. And of course, I am the Black Link. And with that, why don't we go ahead and dive on into things. First things first, Mr. Suttledge. Again, welcome
Hi.
to the show. Great to have you here. I'd imagine most people who are watching and listening to this are aware of who you are, but we'll say the small portion of the audience who maybe doesn't know you, isn't affiliated with you. Why don't we take some time to let you introduce yourself, tell them who you are, what it is you do.
It's first of all, I want to say thanks again for having me on the show. Definitely we had some scheduling conflicts a little bit there, huh, Dan? But
Look, man, things happen.
we made it work. Hey,
We made it work.
light finds a
Telesto was
way.
his booking manager. That's
It's true.
He's
gonna
been
happen.
fired and removed from the game. It's fine.
keep
Yeah.
showing up for work though.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
Super weird.
Oh, no, he keeps getting in the building.
Yeah.
Keeps talking about a stapler or whatever. All right. go on.
Where is that stapler? It's I've been playing Destiny for forever. It seems like. Love the game, love the community. If you guys know me, it's probably from a GM carry or a raid carry or anything like that, or maybe from my Destiny tracker guides and articles.
Mhm.
But that is
Yeah.
my contribution to society in the realm of Destiny and who I am.
And I'd say that's a pretty sizable contribution to the community there. I mean, I can think of a few real hardcore players of Destiny who haven't at least taken the time to dive over onto Destiny Tracker for any number of things. So big thanks for working with all of that. I know I've shamefully checked my stats there.
Always.
Always.
It's a weird thing to be like responsible for the content on the site that boasts your negative KD.
Yeah.
It's just like, damn, like I wish like I didn't have to go to this landing page. It's like, all right, let me go back over to Destiny Tracker. You know, I have my account, linked as my homepage for that, and
Yeah.
go over, and it's like, yep, no, you're still bad. You play this game all the time, and
Yeah.
you're still bad. And it's like, oh, thanks. Thanks.
Anytime
Maybe tomorrow
I get a
you'll be
gassed
better.
up on myself. Yeah. No, no. Anytime I get a little gassed up on myself, there I go to Destiny Tracker. Oh wow, man, I'm doing numbers. Oh no, I'm not.
Oh no, no, I'm not.
All those kills were assists. Oh my god, I suck.
Beginning of the season, it's like your KD's positive, and then the page refreshes after your first match, and it's like, no, it's not.
Oh, what is that? Doing 45 and 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, them assists don't count, buddy.
Yep. No.
So that's a great place to start because again, Destiny Tracker is it's something like I said, a lot of the hardcore players would know by heart. How did you get started with all of that?
That is a great question. It was actually because of Advanced GG. I think everyone in the Destiny community knows all about Advanced GG. But the great people over there know the great people over at Destiny Tracker. And at the time, I was actually a partnership manager for Advanced GG.
Yep.
And they spread the word of me over to the people over at Destiny Tracker, and then it was just one thing to led to another, and I ended up writing guides and articles and stuff like that. And that was good. It's a good thing. I love writing, and that's like a creative outlet I haven't been able to like push, because we're all content creators of like the visual media. And there's not a lot of time where, you set aside for like writing and stuff like that. And you're like, why work on like this random writing thing when I could just, sit in front of a camera and play video games? So it kind of like helped me regain that passion and that just something that I really love. So it was a good thing to do. I love it.
No, right on. That makes a lot of sense. In the extreme digital world we live in today, that I would say that you're 100% on the money. That people would sometimes not think about that as being an option or a thing for them to do when it absolutely is still relevant to the world today.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people who went through creative writing in college and all of that kind of stuff who thought, oh well, people are just on YouTube nowadays. Who's going to read articles? But then went on to make 100%. A blog or something, or work on a journalism website and shot through the roof. There's definitely still an avenue where that's of paramount import.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people too, whenever we talk about making content, we always want to make content that we ourselves enjoy, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that was kind of what it's about. Like whenever I remember when I was trying to learn raids in Destiny 1, I didn't watch YouTube videos to learn how to do them. I found like those websites that had the written out guides, and like it's an absolute small scale to the people who want to go look at a video. Like most people are going to prefer a video. Like I'm not gonna imagine that that's not true. But there is that like section of people that are just like, man, I really just want to read this, take it in, like, take like a digital highlighter and like be like, this is what I need to do here. Yeah. And like, for those nerds like me, like that's who I'm making those guides for.
No, and like, let's be real here. Not everybody wants to sit through a 10-minute guide video when they could read an article in 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Telling them exactly how to get something done.
I think
I
think the last time I read like a written out guide was like Legend of Dragoon. Trying to
Oh man.
Like I printed out the guide from I think Prima. I think Prima had like
love those Prima guides, dude.
Yep.
Love it. I literally have my like right now on my bookshelf that I can see. It's out of the camera view. I literally can see my Halo Prima guide. Dude, I love those Prima guides, dude. I'm such a dork when it comes to those. I think they're so cool.
I used to have the original Pokemon one. The
original
Pokemon
me too.
one that had
all the artwork.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
My gosh.
Oh, don't get me started there, man. I don't have the red and blue one, but I do have the gold and silver one. And, oh man, I love those. Yeah, I'm a dork for those.
No, maybe that's something that's because of the eras we grew up in. But I remember back in the 90s, growing up as a kid, in love with video games, I collected all kinds of guidebooks, and I was subscribed to like 3 or 4 different video game magazines, like Nintendo Power whichever one was at GameStop. I was subbed to that for like 10 years.
Oh yeah,
Game Informer.
Game Informer, right. And the Prima guides were some of the biggest ones that I could get. Like anytime I'd go out and buy a game at release, I'd look to see if there was a guide that came along with it. And somewhere over there, I've still got my guides for like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Donkey Kong 64, just so many different games that I used to just pour over. And man, Dan, you mentioned the Pokemon one, and that just flooded me with memories. I had the original one for Red and Blue, and I could just remember staring at that for hours upon hours a day to make sure that I got every single TM. I found every single Pokemon and every single spawn. There's absolutely still, I think, a love for actual written media out there, and man, just even just mentioning that just fills me up with
just
it. Like, oh my goodness,
the nostalgia banks.
All of my neurons are firing right now because it's still a worthwhile thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember the days of like going to IGN.com.
Yep.
And all the guides were like, they're pretty much just Notepad. It was literally just like literally like Notepad text, and it was like, this is how you play the game. And I'm like, sweet.
That was the Legend of Dragoon one that I did.
Yeah.
And I think it's still up because there's like a secret anima that you can get. And I forgot how you got it until like I was doing a playthrough more recently and was like, oh, I remember. Okay, yes. Where's that guide?
Yeah,
gotta find that guide. And
head over to Game FAQs.
Yeah. Oh, so cool.
So yeah, I think that's phenomenal stuff there. But I guess to tie it back into Destiny, how did you get started with this game as a franchise though?
Well, I love my games growing up were Pokemon, like we were just talking about, and then Halo and the Elder Scrolls series. Loved Halo.
Man,
yeah, loved Halo. Played the heck out of Halo for a really long time. Halo Reach is probably still one of my most played games for sure. Of like all the hours I sunk into that. And then whenever Bungie and Halo no longer were the power couple.
Right.
I followed them over to Destiny, and I was in college at the time when Destiny came out, and I just remember sitting in class with my laptop up, pretending to take notes, but actually looking at my Guardian on Bungie.net, and, like, doing all the customization, and be like, man, I'm never gonna pass college. And so like. Yeah, so I always played it, loved it, and then like I took a little bit of a break until Destiny 2 came out, and then I played. I've been playing Destiny 2 pretty seriously ever since. All the time. You take small breaks to play Destiny, but I was actually before the podcast I was describing it to Dan. It's like Destiny's just becoming like Star Wars. You log in, you get those big explosive content drops of like the good story bites and stuff like that. You play a couple other games for a couple months, you come back and boom, you get another big, Star Wars movie.
That's
it. It's a good time. It's a good franchise to be invested in. It's like, and it's really cool to see how it's changed over the years. All the way back. I think Destiny 1.
I think Dan, we had this conversation. It was not last week, but the week before last, where I said that with how they're handling the narrative, Destiny is currently a Disney Plus show.
It's a TV show.
Yeah. It's 100%. Yeah. That's a perfect way to put it. Disney Plus has some good content, so is Destiny. And it's 100% going that direction where it's like those big substantial drops while you keep chewing on the other stuff.
Yeah, it's seasonal content. You come in for a season, you engage and enjoy whatever content is there, and then you move on. You go play something else like Metroid Dread for a little while, and then make your way back when there's some new stuff to do in Destiny. And I think, good.
No, I was gonna say, or sell your soul to New World. It's always
or like I've seen many people do, just auction it right on off for New World.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
That's okay, For a long time, people were talking about the content release schedule in Destiny and how they were kind of treating it like Destiny needs to be a game that has something for you to do all the time. And I think we've talked about on this show that that doesn't need to be the case.
Right.
It's not healthy to try to make the game like that. And, the game doesn't really benefit from being like that. Destiny works perfectly fine with this sort of seasonal model where it comes in, it offers a nice story for you to kind of engage in, activities for you to engage in that change on a seasonal basis. And then when you're done with it, you can move on. In 3 months, there's going to be a brand new season with brand new story and brand new activities. It's a lot like an MMO in that sort of regard.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that statement because
bring it on. Let's fight.
Because if you would look, for example, at Bungie really likes to hammer home that Destiny is an action MMO. It's this weird
Yes.
hybrid.
Mhm.
However, with an MMO, I feel like there's so much more that you can keep yourself entertained with,
There is.
as opposed to what we currently have with Destiny. If Destiny would need to change fundamentally in order for it to be like even remotely be considered an MMO. Because at the moment, it ain't that. Like
Right.
not
Yeah.
at the slightest.
But that's kind
I'll
of my
subscribe
point.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point, Nim, is that while Destiny has sort of these MMO light types of vibes, it doesn't have the content to keep you playing 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
My
no,
entire
no.
point is that it doesn't
Yeah.
have that. Bungie shouldn't try to go for that because they don't have the
Right.
manpower for it.
No.
And Destiny's not that type of game.
Yep.
It's the type of game where you come in, you play for a bit, you get the content and the rewards that you want, and then you can get it on the back burner and come back in a couple of months when there's going to be a brand new season of content for you to go through.
Yeah, in my opinion, a true MMO makes it so it like I just started school this week. I was telling Dan,
Yeah.
and because of that, I've not been able to play as much New World as I've wanted.
Yeah,
and I feel like whenever I come back, I'm like crap, like oh my god, what did I miss? Like there's so much I need to do, so much I need to get going.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play Destiny for a little bit, and you're just like, all right, cool. Well, I'll load in and I still have everything that everyone else has. There's still not too much for me to catch up on. It's like I gotta get a couple story missions going, get those cooking. But other than that, it's not gonna be overwhelmingly like FOMO-y,
Right.
And I think I think that's a big MMO element is FOMO.
Oh yeah.
I think if you miss a season, it might be a little bit more overwhelming just to like kind of go in and try to farm out those things. But even then, it's not that bad. I had somebody at work telling me like, man, I got to get back into Destiny. I haven't played Destiny in like over 2 years. I was like, it's the same thing. It'll be there for you.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them to play Forsaken before January, but other than that,
get that out of the way.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, and there's generally a season or two's worth of content that's relevant to what's going on within Destiny at that point. And while that can be a lot to do, it's not overwhelming. Like, I'm sorry, Nim, I jumped into Warframe a month or so ago after having not played for we'll say several years, and was just like, I don't know.
Yep.
There's been changes. I like some of the changes. I like most of the changes, but like I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where I was
why?
in the story.
You know why?
Why would that be?
Because stuff hasn't been taken out of the game.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff hasn't been taken out. We're gonna get to that.
100%. It has 100% been reworked and it has been enhanced. Like I like that. Yeah, I've been playing Warframe since it was my first PS4 game, like when PS4 launched, because it was a free game. It was one of the launch titles. And they've reworked the intro multiple times, and the intro that the game has now is not the same intro when I started playing the game. It's a lot more cinematic and it's pretty fantastic. I was watching big time. I was watching Sentinel Grey start like a separate account to kind of like guide the newer players that are just getting into Warframe. And it is completely different than than what it was like back in the day. But yeah, no, I mean, a lot of the content that Warframe has launched with is there. They've removed a couple things here and there that just weren't really worth doing. But largely everything that the game has had it's still in there. But that's why it has that overwhelming feeling for returning or new players, because the game doesn't really do a good job at telling you what to do in the beginning.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I felt. It's like, okay, there's a lot of stuff here. I remember vaguely what I was doing 3 years ago, the last time I played this, but that's clearly not relevant to what's going on now, and I don't know where to go. Whereas in Destiny, I think Destiny still has some problems with the returning and new player experience. The beginning of the game can be a little bit messy, but I actually got to witness firsthand a player who hadn't played for a long time come back to the game last week, and I got to play a bit with him, and he basically got himself caught up to current content within a week after not playing for years and having no idea what was going on. Yeah. And so it was nice to see that he was able to get in there and not be completely overwhelmed by the current experience available in Destiny. And I think Bungie's done a pretty good job with that. And I think a lot of that is tied in with the way they've handled their seasons. So good work.
And like the only problem that I really have with the whole like content vault thing too, I guess while we're on the subject of it too, is that a lot of things I'll relate it to Elder Scrolls Online. It's an MMO that I put thousands of hours into.
Love it.
I love it. Amazing game. And there are some really good story bites in Elder Scrolls Online. And Dan, have you ever played Elder Scrolls Online?
I have not. No, I have had friends who have played it, but I personally, I think I played a little bit of World of Warcraft when it first launched.
Sure.
Like, and by a little bit, I mean like maybe like 2 hours right out the gate, and then
with ESO, there's like some really good story bites, and I would want to run you through those and like get you into those because I know it hook you into the game, make you love it and stuff like that. The problem that I'm really having right now is that like with the Red War being gone, it's like I can't take somebody and like I can tell you about the experience that the Red War was and try to hook you into Destiny that way, but it's not going to be the same as you actually playing it. And now, to me, I thought Forsaken was one of the best stories that we had in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like what, like now if you like the only campaign that's going to be left, well, I mean, you're going to have Shadowkeep and then you're going to have Beyond Light, those two stories, but I just feel like the weight of those two stories can't be felt without the previous weight of like Forsaken and I mean, even Red War being,
was there a story in Shadowkeep?
You
tell me.
Well, so Shadowkeep is kind of like a heavy storyline to just drop new players into because it's like you're helping to mend someone's soul from years of trauma and loss. And with I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We missed an episode last week, but the week before last was when it was talked about that Forsaken would be going into the DCV. And Nim, I know you and I kind of talked about it, and it's like I wish it had been forecasted sooner. Yeah. They said that things would be coming and would be going, and had they made Forsaken at the latest free at the beginning of the season, I could see it. I could see it as like a thing to help people through.
For sure.
Ideally, you'd want to do that at the beginning of Beyond Light. If just give people that year to go play that content, and then
Forsaken is a big precursor to what everything is happening right now, especially with like Crow and Sabathur.
Literally the lead into the current story.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just one of those. Like, I'm not trying to pull a surprise Pikachu.jpg that Destiny said that we're gonna take content out, and now they're taking content out. I'm like, what? Why are they taking content out? It's like, no, they said that they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
but it's just the way it's being done and what's being chose to be left. Or like, why are Battlegrounds staying with strikes, man?
That's
like,
odd.
We barely have any strikes, and now it's like you have even less strikes in these Battlegrounds that you had to like grind through for a season.
And
it's like
boring.
This is not good. This is not good. Like, I just don't want to do it.
That was a confusing move to me. Like when they announced that Battlegrounds would be jumping into the strike playlist. And it's called Vanguard Missives or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, I don't run Battlegrounds for a reason.
Nobody does.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, I haven't. I think I went back through and ran some of the hunts just to get like to max out the lure. I did that.
We were running hunts for a reason.
Like until I finished that lure, and then I was like, all right, bye, False Crow, and then got out of there. And Battlegrounds, I don't really like Faux Crow, if you will. Battlegrounds, I do not. Battlegrounds, I don't interact with because I've already done that on my character that was my main this year. And really, Override and Expunge, I think like I haven't run those yet, but I wouldn't mind running those again.
Yeah.
And I think the same would go for the Shattered Realm. However, maybe I'll walk that back a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the staying power of that content.
Mm-hmm.
So
it definitely was an odd choice for them to basically keep Battlegrounds content in the game so far removed from its introductory season. I certainly haven't run a Battlegrounds at all this season and don't really feel a need to. A lot of the even the rewards that you can get from that, not really super relevant in the vein of what we got in seasons following it. Certainly what we've got in the current season. So it's odd that they didn't get rid of that activity and like bring more strikes or something.
Yeah,
but,
and now it's gonna be a part of a Pinnacle, a powerful
Playlist.
kind of playlist where it's like I'm gonna load into that, and if I'm I'm not gonna do it if I'm solo or hopefully I won't. If I have a team where I'm 100% going back to Orbit and just requeuing one of the same strikes we've been playing for 7 years.
Not playing that.
And I would wonder if they would make you have the hammer to get the rewards at the end.
That's actually what I was about to say, is that we have 2 activities of 2 different seasons, and those currencies are still in game, and you still have to use those in order to get those. And I feel like as a season passes by, those currencies should just get deprecated, and just as long as you get the completion, you should be able to get a reward from it without having to still carry ether on you or carry that particular season's artifact like the hammer or the glove. Like it's just,
especially if it's being added to a Pinnacle playlist.
Yeah,
especially.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's straight
odd
up
choice.
needed.
Yeah,
it's
I
an
don't know.
odd choice.
I'm not a big fan of content vaulting altogether myself. When I read that they were removing Forsaken, I just kind of tilted my head to the side. I'm like, okay, so you're removing the most impactful story that Destiny 2 has had for quite some time. The precursor to the current story that's going on here. That's a move. And like, I understand that the game cannot handle the size.
Yeah.
I hate it because, we're losing the story. And, one of the things that kind of like irks me is that, it's not something you like. People often ask, well, when was the last time you ran, like, you reran the Forsaken campaign? Well, it's like, I can't. Like back in D1, like I would run Regicide for the hell of it, or run the beginning of the Taken King for the hell of it, because I could.
Yep.
Because those missions were on the director, they were on the map. But unfortunately, in D2, you can't replay missions even if you wanted to. You literally kind of have to restart a character if you wanted to go through.
Well,
or go to the kiosk.
You used to be able to.
You
used to be able to, and I don't think people engaged with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was how? Because I honestly, aside from the daily heroic story missions, I don't remember.
That was the way to do it.
Yeah,
that was the way.
Okay. Well, fuck that, because that was bad. You couldn't play what you wanted to play. It was just what Papa Bungie decided. Hey, you get to play this today.
Yeah, today you get to slay Gaul, but tomorrow you're going to be moving the tank halfway across the map.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
I don't know. I don't like it. Not a fan. Understand why it's done, but I hate it.
I don't know. I have a hard time subscribing to the we all should just be okay because it's the whole game size thing. Because I'm looking at my Warzone install right now of like 200
that thing is like
gigabytes.
200 gigs, isn't it?
Keeps getting bigger.
But Warzone doesn't care about your console.
I don't care. Like, that's what I want. I want Bungie not to care about my computer. Like, just fill it with everything, and like I understand, like
gig Destiny.
I'm
fine with it. It's a big game. MMOs are big games. Elder Scrolls Online, over 100 gigabytes. Like,
Elder Scrolls is huge.
It's a big game.
Yeah.
I think the problem lies more with the console folk and the hardware limitations that they have.
So,
that's fair.
That being said, there is a game that has added content. So Borderlands 3. I really like how they handled their DLC. Because it was It was so
Enlighten us, Dan.
there were
Yeah,
different
I played
points.
it, but
There were different
no
points
DLC.
around the ship
Okay.
that you're in, around Sanctuary 3. And each one of those points, it could be a poster hanging up for Handsome Jack's casino. It could be a wanted poster on like a table or something like that. But each of those pointed back to a DLC, and it was optional. It's completely optional to buy the DLC, correct? So,
Yep. I like that.
but instead of loading it in with the rest of the game, they were their own separate downloads. So,
Oh, it's so smart.
Yeah.
So smart. That's how Halo MCC does it.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's so like you could load, you could do that one. You could do love, the Lovecraft one, and leave another one out, and it would save space on your console. But at the same time, you could still do the content. You still owned that content. You could still go back and play it if you wanted to, and that's something that I think it would. I don't know how much. I don't know how much work that would be on Bungie's back end to do that now. If that was an option, I would assume that would have been an option they would have exhausted at this point.
I feel like it's way too late in its life cycle, because I mean we're already have a clear path of the last two big expansions coming to the game.
Yeah.
Right. It reminds me of the days back in the day of being able to selectively download expansions and DLC packs that you wanted to play. I can think of Call of Duty used to do this a lot, where basically if you wanted the new maps, you downloaded a specific pack for it. If you didn't want to play on those maps, you deleted that DLC pack for it.
Nah, I'm not a fan of getting sniped on that map. I'm gonna just make sure I never have to play that. Yeah,
I'll stay my happy little ass on Afghan. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much. Not going in the snow. Too cold for me, sir. I really think that's something that they should have done, because what you're doing now is you're making generational players for Destiny. You're going to get players that come into Destiny at different times that understand
different experiences.
Everyone's getting a different experience, and I think with an MMO and a game that relies so heavily on community like Destiny, you want to unite that experience for your players, so that way everyone has something they can relate to. And right now, you're kind of like shifting and separating your player base by like, oh, you started in 2019. Well, this story, as opposed to somebody who's going to start in 2022, has never played Red War, has never played Forsaken, will never experience those, has no idea what's going on, and where Cade's voice comes in, sneaks in those one or two times. Still,
like, who's that?
They'll be like, who is that? Yeah, and it's like, come on,
that's
man.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. No, that one's Nolan North. What? Why are there different Cade voices?
Yep. Contractual obligations and budget cuts. Sorry.
The usual. And that's such an interesting point, Suttledge. I haven't really ever thought about that, but I don't know if I've ever played another game with so many different first experiences. Nearly as many as Destiny 2 has. If you're somebody who played Destiny 2 on launch, you have a completely separate experience from the people who started playing during Forsaken, and then again every year after Forsaken. It's, one of my favorite video game stories is the tale of Final Fantasy XIV and A Realm Reborn. Final Fantasy XIV was an MMO that dropped in, I think 2011, somewhere around there. It might have been a year or two after that. It was awful. I'm one of the original 1.0 players. It was an awful experience. You guys didn't miss much. But a couple years later, it gets revamped as A Realm Reborn, currently the #1 MMO in the world. It's a phenomenal game now, and it is a completely different experience to how it was in 1.0. That was considered an extreme option for Square Enix to do. But if you're somebody who played through 1.0, you had a different experience than what you experienced during its relaunch. We've had that 3 or 4 times in Destiny 2, where the new player experience is just something completely different. And I haven't ever once looked at it through that lens, Suttledge. But you're 100% right. For a company that says that they're so concerned with FOMO, fear of missing out, they really have implemented it on a story-wide level with Destiny 2. And with all the stuff that they've taken out of the game, and with all the stuff in the future that they're going to be taking out of the game,
Yeah.
Fear of FOMO, we're losing Forsaken.
Yeah. And
it's crazy to think about.
I'll relay it back to Elder Scrolls Online. If you and I decide we want to bring Dan into the Elder Scrolls universe,
please.
Yeah. Come on in.
Around, dude. It's been going around since. I mean, I think ESO launched literally the same year as Destiny 2.
It did.
Don't quote me. Yeah, it did. I can still go back and play. Dan, you can still go do the same quest I did in 2017, I think, when it launched.
Okay.
Like you can still the new player experience is obviously changed where they modernize that, but you can still go back to the islands that I spent my years at and go do those same original quests to fall in love with the same characters that I love. You can go here. Man, who's the guy from Monty Python that's in it?
John Cleese.
Yeah, John Cleese, and also Dumbledore. Dumbledore also voices a character.
So here's the thing.
It's so good.
Vestige.
Vestige.
Every time he calls me, it's like,
you're a wizard, Vestige.
I keep wanting to go, will this make you happy, Papa Suttledge? I don't know why.
It will. Yes.
It will.
You can go to the islands where I fell in love.
Learn to hate an alliance before that you then learn to love that alliance.
Yeah, I love what Hollow just said. Destiny 2 classic release win. Yes,
oh my
please.
Goodness.
Sign me up.
So I took a quick look. ESO launched the same year as Destiny 1, 2014.
Son of a bitch.
And all of that content is still in the game.
Still there, 100%.
Still there. Still there.
Absolutely.
All of that story, all of that lore, all of it is still there in the game. Like, what are we, 8, 9, 10 DLCs afterwards?
Yep. That's actually, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild to think about. Because I've gotten a lot of my community to play Elder Scrolls Online, and like, and I love running them through when we have the time to go through like those old quests and stuff like that.
Clapping Molech Ball's cheeks.
Yeah, dude. You're not clapping demon cheeks, then GTFO.
It's crazy to think that all of that content is still right there. And they've made a lot of changes. Like they've streamlined the story in ESO. It's a lot. It's a lot better to go through now. Somebody who played on launch and played through it again. I went through all 3 Alliance stories again this year. This year alone. So yeah, they've streamlined the storyline experience there, but all of that content is still there, available in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
And so while I understand some of the limitations there from Bungie, I'd imagine it's more so than the space that Destiny takes up. I'd imagine it's the engine that's really giving them a lot of problems in keeping all of that stuff in game. But man, it still does suck to lose access to it, and losing access to Forsaken, which is such a pivotal part of the current story, is weird. I mean, Witch Queen is literally a result of what happened in Forsaken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forsaken, I would say, is probably either the most or the second most pivotal story in the Destiny franchise. It's a battle between Taken King and Forsaken.
Yep.
And it's weird to see that we're losing.
Well, they were they were the turning points of each franchise. Or each installment in the franchise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's definitely odd that we're going to be losing all of that content. I would agree with that.
It's kind of wild to think that with the current story beat that we're going through, if you look at Forsaken, if you look at Beyond Light, and if you look at what's going on narratively right now, Beyond Light feels kind of like a standalone story that just kind of happened, and now it's kind of put off to the side, and we're picking we're picking up again from kind of like from where we left off in the Dreaming City.
Well,
this is your friendly reminder that Aramis is frozen in ice. You did it, and you haven't thought about it since the moment you did it. Like,
she's still alive, and they forecasted her return, and then just like, never mind about that. Just put that over to the side. Remember all that Dreaming City stuff?
The Dreaming City.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the same thing that happened with Uldren and Crow. Like, it was like towards like the end of Forsaken that we got that cutscene of him coming back to life, and literally like a year later is when we started hearing from him again and seeing him in game. So I'd expect to see Aramis in a Lightfall, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's like if like at the end of Batman Begins, you know how he finds the Joker card? It'd be like if the Dark Knight was about him versus the Penguin instead of going against the Joker. Like that's how it feels right now. It's
wait, so the Batman?
The Batman, essentially.
Yeah, literally.
Great trailer, by the way.
Yeah, good trailer.
You know what?
Don't get me started.
I'm sold on Battinson now. I'm sold on Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson can do no wrong in my
Pattinson.
book.
Okay.
Pattinson can do no wrong in my book. Have you seen him as a kooky lighthouse operator in Lighthouse?
What a weird movie.
What a weird movie.
It was great though. And
I'm looking that up right now.
Oh, it's him and Willem Dafoe, and it's just the weirdest
treat.
Enjoy. But back to Destiny.
I'll be watching that.
Have fun. It's Halloween. Go watch it. It's great.
Oh, joy. That looks great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Forsaken's going away when Witch Queen drops. So if you wanna go through it now.
Yes. But delete a character to go through it.
Yeah, but you have to delete. You got to sacrifice a character.
Yep, you got to delete a character to do it.
Oh, they've got to work that out sometime in the future. Make it so that it's not such a sacrifice to go back through the original story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, they had a system in D1 where you just pick story missions. I don't know why we can't do that.
You can't have it. That's it.
Not allowed.
Just can't. Not allowed.
Absolutely not.
Well, all right. What do you say we get into some of the stuff that's happening this week?
All right. So, well, actually, last week, because we didn't have an episode last week.
That's true.
Last week marked the beginning of the Festival of the Lost.
It did.
Yay.
And it was interesting and really fun for a couple days.
See, I played through it like the first day and haven't been able to dive back into any of that content yet. So I missed the grand Page farms.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
How unfortunate.
Yeah. Now I gotta just grind them out the old way, the old fashioned way.
You will play as Bungie designs.
I will churn that butter.
You will play as Bungie wants you to play.
There you go. You will spend 3 weeks grinding out books.
That is such a confusing change.
It's
for nothing but lore.
Yeah. It's
well,
not.
You know what? You want to know what I think?
Like,
is that change probably was a reason for?
Sure.
Engagement.
Because you take, if let's say you look at Festival of the Lost, for example, right? And you have this new activity that you've designed and created, kind of like quote unquote unique for this event, the Haunted Lost Sectors. Now you have an entire player base that is not participating in these haunted sectors, but now they're going back to 3 seasons ago or 4 seasons ago for Season of the Hunt, and now they're farming Wrathborn hunts and new content.
Well,
so if now if Bungie has investors to kind of show data in number 4, they're gonna see that nobody's really taking advantage of this new activity. They have to kind of like force players into kind of like getting in there a little bit more.
Or you spin it as, hey, our content is replayable.
Yeah, look these players love Wrathborn hunts.
They love Wrathborn hunts.
Yeah. Look at all this engagement.
Look at all that. This is so old. This is 9 months old, and look at them just going wild.
Yeah, but here's my response to that, Nim. You have to run outside content to get the pages to take into those haunted lost sectors to turn into the manifested pages.
You don't get them from that activity.
No, I don't think you just.
I think you cleanse the pages through the lost sectors.
Okay, gotcha.
You got to farm the pages outside of lost sectors doing activity completions, and then take them into the haunted lost sectors to turn them into the manifested pages.
So you're still doing a loop. You're doing a content loop. It's just with content that's like 9 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You couldn't pay me to go into those Wrathborn hunts during the Festival of Dawning, or not Festival of the Dawning. That's a Nightmare Before Christmas, but in Destiny. Like we did a cookie farm because you were able to load into those. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Those playtime numbers don't need fudged. I'm sure people ramped those up pretty high during that.
There's got to be a curse of the release season. Like, because man, Season of the Undying, and then you have Season of the Hunt. Both meant to be these kind of light bootstrapped, like little things to do when you're not playing the content that's launched with it.
Yep.
Did not enjoy either, personally.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird scenarios where clearly, essentially, Bungie didn't anticipate the speed at which people would be able to farm up those spectral pages and the candy using Wrathborn hunts, since a lot of them are like anywhere from 90 to 120 seconds to complete over and over again, especially since that one glitch in Wrathborn hunts has never been addressed of just resetting your lore as soon as you open it up. That's been a thing for the longest time. Anytime Bungie has had since day one. And anytime Bungie's had an event that has required farming up currency that's tied to activity completions. Because again, remember, that's what the sticker is here. Activity completions give you the candy and give you the spectral pages and all that kind of nonsense. And because you can still complete the Wrathborn hunt with a reset lore, just go complete those super quickly. Like, I think whatever the spring event was, you could do this for the currency in that. Like Suttledge said, the dawning last year, you could just go in there and do this for the cookie ingredients and all that, and completions and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, with the easy bake oven. Mm-hmm. So clearly, people were getting through this faster than Bungie anticipated. And that's why they're making the step here of saying, okay, well, now we're going to knock back all the candy and all the, specifically all the spectral pages from all of these activity completions, including Expunge, which was, I think, the second fastest manner of getting this stuff done by running Tartarus.
Yeah.
And curiously enough, Nightfalls. Now, the Nightfall change they're going to be undoing this coming week, but isn't like the Nightfall strike this coming week like the Corrupted or something?
It is the Lake of Shadows.
That's what it is right now.
Yeah. Oh, coming up is the Corrupted. Is that what you're saying?
It's something like that, but I have several problems with this. My first of which being, look, I get it. This is a 3-week event. You want people to play for 3 weeks. Nobody's going to play Festival of the Lost nonstop for 3 weeks.
No shot.
But this is a free event. I've already stopped too.
I already stopped.
Listen,
I don't care about the book.
I'm one of those. Yeah, I'm one of those dudes who farmed out all the masks on like day 1 or 2 because I love Wrathborn hunts and I actually really like the Haunted Lost Sector activity. I'm really a fan of it. I have a lot of fun in there. I think it's a hallelujah, fantastic change from having the Haunted Forest. I'm so glad.
It feels like Borderlands. It feels like Borderlands. Like it feels like the Borderlands event that they did.
Yeah, the little weird, goofy mini missions.
Yeah, and like I dig that. It feels festive and goofy in a way that Destiny hasn't really felt, and I would like them to lean more that direction. Not saying do more Borderlands stuff, but like that was it's a really fun and unique experience within Destiny.
Yeah, seasonal events are supposed to be stupid. You're supposed to be like, I cannot believe I'm doing this right now. Like this is wild.
Right.
And like I think Destiny struggles so hard sometimes to be like, oh well, it has to like fit into the lore and it has to like be this and it has to be that. And it's like, no, like just make it stupid, you know?
Goofy activity.
Goofy activity. Make it so over the top and ridiculous that we just, we go back and we go, haha, that was fun.
We're literally running Lost Sectors with Goosebump stories playing in the background. And it's great. I like that. I like the Lost Sectors. I like the entire loop this time around. I think it's easy and simple enough. And I think it was a fantastic way to use content that's already available in the game. By taking these Lost Sectors, revamping them a little bit, giving them a makeover, and then adding in some new enemies and new mechanics with the whole pumpkin bombs, pretending you're the Hobgoblin or the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. I think that's great. I don't like the change that Bungie made here with candy. I think, first off, if you wanted people to have to run Nightfalls to get a bunch of candy, you should have just put more candy behind Nightfalls. I shouldn't be getting the same amount of candy from a Nightfall that I'm getting from running an Expunge mission. I shouldn't be getting more candy per hour just by doing heroic public events, which, by the way, is going to be the way to farm this stuff now that these changes have gone into effect, than I do by running... Let's see, Lake of Shadows is the Nightfall this week, so you can get that done pretty quickly. But next week, it's not going to be a 3 to 4 minute strike.
No.
Especially if you're doing Grandmasters, it's going to be 10, 15 minutes minimum that you're going to be running that. And completing that and getting the exact same amount of candy that you would be getting for completing an Expunge, I think was the real problem there. Bungie should be paying you more for doing that harder content. But I don't think they should be punishing the people who wanted to farm this stuff out for farming this free event out. It's just one of those real weird things where like people are playing this content. Let them play it the way they want to. I feel the same way about Grandmaster Nightfalls and whatnot, with like the whole rotating list of Nightfalls and being able to select the Nightfall that you haven't gotten done. I think Bungie should just leave that active forever. If people want to farm Lake of Shadows, let them farm Lake of Shadows. They got themselves up to 1345 light. They're clearly invested in your game and have spent the time in there. Let them play the content they want to play.
Yeah, if you care about the rewards, lock the guns to specific. Like if you do Lake of Shadows or you do this one, like you're getting Palindrome. Like
there you go.
If you truly care that much about what people are doing, then do it in a logical manner. Just lock rewards to certain Grandmaster strikes. Like if you think, just make like a tier. Like Bungie just needs to make a tier list. Be like, these are like Battlegrounds Corrupted. These are like the S plus. Like if you do these, you get like, you know, the ones that are really, you know, hard to get, or like the ones people really want, and then just work that list down. Like at least do it that way if you're going to, you know, kind of separate loot like that.
Targeted loot is something that we've talked about in the past.
Yeah,
it just needs to happen, man.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Candy and Spectral Pages nerf. I think, you know, with a free event like this, you've given your players something they clearly were interested in going for, because people were absolutely farming up the heck out of those Wrathborn hunts to get through to the haunted sectors. I was doing it and having a lot of fun with it. Like that's all I did Tuesday and Wednesday while I was playing the game. I think you let players play. Just let them play the way they want to play. You don't need to say no. Stop it. Stop it. No. You go play the way we want you to play. You're getting this too fast. I don't think there was really any benefit there. I'd love to see some of the engagement numbers for haunted lost sectors and some of these activities after Bungie put in that change. I'd love to see if what the before and after looked like. But that's just how I feel about it.
You know what I wish. Like, you know what I wish had come in with Festival of the Lost. Spooky
Monster
Trials.
Armor?
Spooky Trials.
Oh no.
Isn't that what Battle I got rid of with Spooky Trials?
Yeah, we had that prayer circle. We cast that demon out.
Yeah, we already did that exorcist.
We got that exorcism done.
Yeah,
that's in the books. You know, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, man, Spooky Trials. Remember when Bungie did that? That was a mistake. I don't think Spooky Trials should come back. Make it Spooky Iron Banner. I think that'd be better. Just a Spooky Iron Banner.
Spooky Banner.
Spooky Banners, I think, would be more welcomed than Spooky Trials was. I remember the song. Everybody laughed the first game, and then every game after that was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. That was just something that was, I don't know. And see, like, I don't know. So we're talking about Spooky Trials right now, but like, how many players do you think even know what we're talking about?
Not a lot,
because of the content,
the generational,
like the literally the generational separation there. Yeah, it's like some people might be like Spooky Trials, like, oh, that's a funny joke. It's like, no, like it was an actual thing.
Yep,
it was
that
a thing
happened that they just never want to bring back. You know,
look it up, Sonny.
Yeah, look it up, kiddo.
It'll probably make you as mad as it made us while it was happening.
That shadow dancing across the background, like, ah!
Yep.
What was that?
It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, stuff going on. But other than that, you know, I really do like Festival of the Lost this time around. You know, I like that they stuck with the whole gathering candy from completing challenges, defeating enemies. And I really, really do want to stress that I like the haunted lost sectors. I think it was. I think it's a direct upgrade from the haunted forest we've had for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
And
they knew
I've
they had
enjoyed
to do
it.
something. They knew they had to do something to change it up. Because it's been a sticking point for the last 2 years. So.
And I think they did a good job with it. It's a nice enough event. It doesn't, well, at least previously, it didn't look like it was going to take up that much of your time. Rest in peace to everybody who didn't get their farming done before that change. I got most of mine done. I'm probably not going to finish up the rest of my pages since don't feel like it. But I got the masks, and that's what I was. That's what I cared about.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm probably not even going to get the masks.
Yeah.
I want the pyramid one, but.
I don't know. My community's been like flexing all their doot masks, and like I just
that looks absolutely horrifying.
That is the
Dude
dumbest.
Moon.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I love it. That's what I want from Bungie. I want more newts and doots. Okay, that's my memo to Luke Smith. More newt, more doot. Send.
Thumbs up from me. Oh, and also there's a decent pulse rifle.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
Oh, right. A Lincoln Green. I mean, Jurassic Green.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Green now, remember.
Clever girl. And you can get that. You can also get the Braytech werewolf.
Yep.
Yeah, you
from previous.
Get all those weapons from previous.
The horror story. Yeah. Which I like. I think that's fun. Bringing those weapons back with access to the new perk pool, I think is cool. Whatever.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Going a little bit outside of Festival of Lost because it seems like we've talked quite a bit about it. Yeah. What are our thoughts on the future nerfs that have been discussed concerning Shatterdive, Vex Mythoclast, and Dune Marchers? Scheduled, I believe, for December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably around the 30th anniversary.
Right.
For Vex, I really don't know. Like, it's such an all-arounder now. It's just...
Yeah.
Vex is good in so many different things right now. I don't think it's broken. I don't think it's definitely not broken, but it is like a solid top-tier weapon in PvE and PvP to the point where the reason Bungie might be nerfing it is because it's just a little too universal. Like, you can whip out Vex and conquer every bit of content in PvE right now.
Especially this season.
Yeah, with all the fusion rifle buffs, like it's almost like they built the buffs and whatnot all to just contribute to the powered up version of Vex.
But is it? I'm sorry, but is it just the buffs that they did to fusions that it's like super strong in PvE, or is it because of particle deconstructor that Vex currently stands out?
I think that's a big part of it.
Mostly the seasonal mods.
Yeah. So
like,
I think Vex is fine PvE wise and like
100%.
And that's my stance.
I hope they don't touch it in PvE.
Yeah, as long as these nerfs that they do are going to be strictly or predominantly PvP nerfs, you know, because I remember way back whenever Beyond Light first came out, we had Shatterdive, and that was also the season we had Overload Stasis grenades.
Yeah.
And you could Shatterdive on top of an Overload champion till your heart's content.
Yep.
And then the Shatterdive got nerfed because of PvP.
Yep.
And then you can no longer now keep in a Grandmaster. I was literally nonstop Shatterdiving.
Yeah.
Overload Minotaurs, and I could do that, and it was fun, and it was stupid, and it was hilarious. But you can't do that anymore because of the PvP nerfs. And so like I'm just hoping and praying and wishing and waiting that these nerfs that we are going to be seeing are going to be separate between PvP and PvE, because it does affect the PvE side of things very, very harshly whenever these things get nerfed. To kind of handle the Crucible.
I think for PvP, it's probably going to get a range nerf if nothing else. So right now, Vex basically operates at like the upper ends of auto rifle range. It's got it's pretty hard from pretty far away with decent enough aim assist. I think they're probably going to cut down on its range a bit. Maybe not back as far as it was before they buffed it, because that had no range basically before this season. But hopefully, I'm with you. I hope they don't knock it into the ground. I am worried that they're going to for Shatterdive. They've already nerfed the blast radius of it, of Shatterdive.
Yep, and the frequency.
And the frequency that you do it. So like that's the two things that make up Shatterdive. The frequency with which you can pull it off and the blast radius of it. And I don't know what else they're going to do with that. Like damage. The only thing that you think they're going to hit the damage on it?
I think that's what they're going to do.
Make it so that it's not so likely to kill.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're just going to do a damage decrease on it. You know, maybe at most it'll knock your shield down. You know, and then Crucible. And I feel like that's gonna be tough on the PvE side of things. You're gonna see a lot of people drop stasis for Grandmasters and other endgame content.
That's Yeah, that's going to be a weird scenario unless they can figure out how to separate that between PvE and PvP.
And it's not just that. We kind of like have to take into consideration that Shadow Dive as a move itself, like it's just an ability, right? Like it's just what allows you to destroy the crystals. So realistically speaking here, Bungie has to do something with the damage of the crystals.
Yep.
Which could be a general nerf all around and not just a hunter specific thing.
What is it? Whisper of shards that increases blast radius.
Yeah.
And I know that hurts your soul, Nim.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like
that's what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a warlock. I can't shatter for shit, anyways.
Yeah.
Like I can freeze in melee, but I can't shatter, so it won't super affect me much. But like in PvE, for example, like using something like Salvation's Grip, which yes, I use for the memes, and maybe Augur Scepter.
Yeah,
because that uses that shatter damage as well. So
yeah,
who knows if it's going to be a global thing to the fragment, or I gotta wait and see.
I don't know. I hope not. I'm a stasis stan. I like it. I think it's
cool.
cool.
Me too.
It's shaking up the game. It's beautiful. The audio and the visual environment it creates is like nothing else in Destiny.
Yeah.
And it blows in PvP to go up against. Like as much as I love it, I do hate it in PvP.
Oh,
but
same.
like it's so good in PvE. It is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing in PvE. And so like I just don't want to see it, kind of get turned into garbage.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
The one thing that I think has gotten more viable builds than fusion rifles in this season is stasis. With all the new mods that we've gotten, with some of the seasonal stuff that we've gotten, and of course the Augur Scepter, which is just a masterpiece in and of itself with the catalyst. Stasis has become the primary class that I play on my Warlock now, and I have so much fun with it. It's so much fun to work around with. Between the you can run the basic turret build. You can run a supercharged Augur Scepter build that's just focused on getting your super as fast as possible and using the will given form beam for super enhanced stasis blast. It's stasis is so much fun to play with in PvE right now, and I'd hate to see it get destroyed in some tuning patches coming forward, shall we say. But when it comes to Shatter Dive, I think it might be a focus on some of those aspects and fragments. I think in particular Whisper of Shards is probably gonna be focuses on, and that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, I don't know what other changes they could do to Shatter Dive that they haven't already done, besides making it take even longer for you to get the ability back.
Right.
Increasing that cooldown there, or knocking down the damage and the range again. But that's probably exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
What if they... So right now, the best way to get away from Shatter Dive, of course, is to get really horizontal and move backwards. But, what if they cut down on the horizontal damage so that, jumping was a more viable option to get away from it?
Could be cool.
Or the vertical damage, rather. Or getting vertical with it.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I dig it.
Because the entire metagame in PvP is about movement, The way to get out of most things, if you're not a hunter who can just, dodge away, is to get vertical, get above your opponent. So I wonder, because most enemies aren't above you in PvE. So if they did a vertical nerf to the damage bubble of shattering those crystals, I wonder if that would be a more viable option there. So the only enemies that are really usually above you are wizards and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm about that. I think that's super smart, because even whenever I do Shadow Dive, as a hunter, because I do predominantly play on hunter, I don't think I've ever really been yes, there's a wizard here, let me Shatter Dive so that way my crystal hits above me. It's no, I'm not doing that. So yeah, I don't know. I think for PvP that might actually be a really good change.
I mean, just have it so that, the counterplay there, if you get caught by a hunter who's trying to Shatter Dive you, would be to jump above the crystals. Get as high above the crystals as you can. Maybe the higher you get, the less damage it does. Just have extreme vertical damage fall off.
Yeah, I like that. It increases the skill gap too, movement-wise.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
anything to keep from, completely destroying the viability of these abilities in PV or all across the game just for the sake of PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Outside of that, if that's all the news fit to print, then we can start talking about the questions, shall we?
Right on.
First off, my question out the gate: what will Telesto break next?
Oh man, Telesto could essentially make you invulnerable. So they nerfed it. They disabled it again. Again, they thought they were safe.
Yep.
In a season all about fusion rifles, they kept their eye on Telesto from like day one. And Telesto, it put them through the slow burn. It made them think. Oh no, the horror movie's done. It's like those horror movies where the monster dies, but there's still 23 minutes left in the runtime.
Yep.
You're looking at their runtime like, wait a second, something's going on here.
Yeah.
Bungie didn't look at the runtime. And they got real comfortable thinking, okay, Telesto's going to be a good boy. And then, boom, out of nowhere, oh, here's some invulnerable people. Just pop these little grapes on them, throw a little bit of Vex Mythoclast in it, and then you have a beautiful chicken dinner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were talking about it pre-show, and I'll go ahead and spew it out here again for the audience. I am calling that we're going to see a plague come in with Telesto, circa how it was in WoW. Where if you get stuck with Telesto, it does not come off of you, and you put it onto other players when you come in contact with them, and then suddenly everyone's just spewing Telesto and repeatedly dying to Telesto over. And that's
reminds me of the virus. Like the virus pre Rise of Iron.
Yeah. Oh, that little event.
Just black screened. The game's over. Executive producer Dick Wolf.
Boom, boom.
Dick Wolf. My only suggestion, I tweeted this out yesterday to mild success. I want a Telesto ornament that has little hash marks on the side, and every time it breaks the game, they add another one to the ornament.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
The problem with that though, Dan, is that we would start losing ticks because they'd have to start putting the ticks into the Destiny content vault. So we'd only have. So you would get to a year where like the slashes at the front of the gun are now gone and the gun's clean. And for some reason, the slashes start 2/3 of the way on the gun, and people are like, "Why is it like this?" And
the ticks got vaulted.
Yeah.
You had to play in 2020 to get those ticks.
Yeah.
Glacial Void in the comments for that tweet was like, the barrel's not long enough, and I was like, imagine if they extended the barrel every time they needed to, and then it affected the range.
Infinite
Telesto.
range Telesto. Yes. Oh no.
That's what I love to hear.
It'll never end.
Yeah.
How can one gun cause so many problems? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. It's just gonna keep happening.
Pocket Infinity sitting over there in the corner, like, y'all thought I was a problem? Okay.
Telesto
put me
is
in,
literally
coach!
Telesto is literally the ever-going grudge and vengeance of Pocket Infinity. To put it in Zelda terms, Pocket Infinity is demise, Telesto is Ganondorf.
Yeah.
I like to imagine Telesto was just like designed and created by one disgruntled Bungie employee.
Dick Wolf?
Before the game. Yeah. It just was like,
It was executive producer Dick Wolf.
Yeah, it was executive producer Dick Wolf. And he's like, I'm just going to put this gun in here. You guys will not forget me. This gun will come back and haunt you for the rest of your years.
This gun is tied to the engine, so you literally can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Every time you make a change, it breaks one other thing.
This gun is tied to the speedometer of this bus, and if it goes under 60 miles per hour,
whoa! Yes, can't get rid of it. It'll never.
Pop quiz hot shot. Tywin asks, with trials seemingly bleeding players week on week, is it due to the flawless loot pool, or players being frustrated, constantly losing and never trying again, or maps or loot not great?
It's because Bungie designed a perfect system for the first week of trials this season, and then decided that they didn't want to have it anymore. And now players know what trials can be, and they don't have that anymore. So that is why. That is what. Yep.
I think that's pretty much it right there. They had a perfect system on week 1, and to be fair, listen, Bungie opened up the trial system to get a more casual audience in there. That more casual audience was always going to taper off because they're casual. They're going to get in there. They're going to get a few rewards. They weren't going to come back. But I think Bungie had a perfect system on week 1. They messed with the recipe. We talked about it in previous weeks. They baked this perfect cake, and they were like, okay, we got this great recipe for this cake. Let's cook it for 3 more hours.
Yep. See what happens.
They pulled out this overburnt cake, and now they're messing with the recipe each and every week.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the biggest reason is they had a working system. They've created a more frustrating system in following weeks, and we're also seeing those casual players kind of filtering their way out.
There's and I saw Ascendant Nomad, past guest of the show, Ascendant Nomad, speaking on split. They've now split the player base again within trials, so that it's like. It's not just like casuals, but like once you hit that flawless pool, there's no real reason.
It's over.
Yeah. So they've managed to split the pool even when they tried to get the biggest pool possible.
Yeah.
And like looking at I'm looking at this is not like this is always like kind of a weird metric, especially since we record on Sundays. But looking at the games being played week over week is kind of interesting. Currently, there's 395,000 players that have played in trials with 1.27 million matches, and the flawless players as of this recording, 82,504, and that is like a pretty steep decline from like last week. I wish I could like specifically set it for like what was it like at 8:30 on Sunday last week, but instead we get the numbers from Tuesday. We have 500,000, like 531,000 players with 183,000 flawless players.
Right.
And
it keeps going down.
Yeah. Well, and it naturally, it should, like, as interest wanes and as people wash out.
Yeah. But not that much though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I think we're beyond the pale when it comes to the numbers of casuals that would be filtering out, and that's kind of part of the problem of appealing to a more casual audience. That more casual audience is going to play that content casually. They're not going to be there for the long haul. They're not going to be playing trials every single week. So of course you're naturally going to see some of those filter out, but I don't think not so much in the numbers that we're seeing here. There's a clear change between the number of active players in trials and especially post-flawless games. Pre-flawless matchmaking pool and post. Now, granted, we still have Monday, which I'd imagine there's probably a small portion of the population that's waiting till Monday to play because they didn't want to have to deal with any of those flawless players pre-flawless pool. But it's not going to be enough to, I think, make up those numbers.
No.
Like, there's clearly a decline.
20,000.
Yeah. There's clearly a huge decline here. And that's going to be something that Bungie has to address.
Yep.
Maybe stick to the recipe.
Maybe. Speaking of sticking to the recipe, Double Dad Cab asks, what do you think the buff to Adrenaline Junkie is going to be?
Ooh. Don't know.
No clue.
They might make it a stackable thing.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
They said it would be spicy.
Give
right?
it the.
They said it would be spicy. Yeah.
Probably like the like a swashbuckler effect. So just times 2 times 3 times 5.
And for those in the audience who don't remember what Adrenaline Junkie does, grenade final blows grant bonus damage and handling for a moderate duration. So basically, you're supposed to use your grenade, and then it gives your weapon a buff. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how much bonus damage it gives to you right now. It's probably not more than maybe 10, 15%. Although 20% is what they usually settle on for most damage buffs in the game. But maybe just giving it a bigger buff. I mean, since it does rely on you using something like a grenade, which generally isn't always available, maybe just give it a much larger buff. If they said they wanted it to be spicy, I'd imagine make it so that it does what it does now. It gives you a bit of a bonus damage on the weapon, bonus handling, and all that kind of stuff, but also gives you increased grenade regen when you activate it. So you throw a grenade, then you get a kill with Adrenaline Junkie, and then Adrenaline Junkie gives you grenade energy back, so that you kind of have a cycle there of getting your grenade energy back, using Adrenaline Junkie, getting your grenade energy back. That would work.
Would it be overkill to have that effect last until you die?
Depends on the buff.
Yeah.
I like Hollow Moons. Maybe it'll proc on every grenade throw. I could see that.
Ooh,
that'd be interesting.
Okay, that'd be neat. I could see some interesting combinations with that, and like Sunbreakers or some of the other combinations. That'd be pretty good with some of the stasis builds, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Ophi the Violet Keeper asks, with Bungie seeming to get more creative with ideas for types of activities to do in game, some sort of idea, but would big space battles sound like something that Bungie would do, so that our ships are more than just cosmetic, and we get to maybe do something with those ships too?
Would do? Hell no.
No, they wouldn't do it.
Hell yes.
Absolutely.
Big team battle. I've been playing a lot of Halo MCC. That's after we get done with this podcast today, I'm going to cook dinner and then play Halo MCC because the new season is the armor is awesome. Quick segue there. It's all like Greek mythology and stuff. Super cool. But one of the things that has kept me playing Halo, even after it's been released forever, is the big team battle. There is nothing like big team battle in any other game. And I think, Bungie created that perfect formula where it's, war on war. So many people, like 12v12, 16v16, and you're just going ham. You're just shooting and driving vehicles, and it's big battles. There's explosions going off. That excitement has not been captured by any other game.
Yep.
The combined arms existed, and nobody cared for it.
It's like, I don't know. I feel like you throw some pikes, you throw some tanks.
We had that in D1.
Yeah,
we had that. We had combined arms, and then it was just. I feel like the sandbox in D2 fits that playlist better than the D1 version did.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I agree with that.
There's a lot more mobility in D2 than there was in D1 to allow those big maps and those vehicles to really shine.
I'm fully convinced that I could outmaneuver a pike right now in Destiny 2.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't do that in D1.
You
have so much better movement, so much more
slower
speed.
game.
Yeah.
If I as a Dawnblade Warlock easily could solo take down one of those bigger.
God. Yeah.
Like with Icarus dashing, it wouldn't be able to turn fast enough to shoot it. Like, come on, like D2 is set up for big team battle. We need it, but I don't see it happening.
So here's the thing. I don't want space battles. I've seen that before. I've seen it before. I don't need it. This isn't a Star War. This is barely even a Star Trek. What I want to see? SRL. Give me that.
Yeah. I would take that.
I would take SRL.
I want it.
I don't know. I want. I mean, if we're going that route, then give me Rock'em Sock'em Robots, where we all jump in our own Insurrection Prime.
We can do that now.
Absolutely.
We can do that now. You want to hop into a private match? Just you and me stand there, just bop each other?
No, it has to be Robo suits, or else it's not cool. Come on.
Yeah. It's just
what about Robo Dino suits?
Now we're just making a weird Power Rangers.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But no, I mean, space is cool, I guess. I don't know. It's a lot less cool now that rich people are going there.
Jeff Bezos is the final boss.
So's William Shatner. The Black Boss Ninja, since Vex and Lawrence Driver, would it be a stretch for them to put Queensbreaker and Darcy in the secondary slot?
No.
No, I think that's overdue, honestly.
Yep.
Same with Whisper. Give me back my damn gun.
They'd have to change some of the aspects of linear fusion rifles on those exotics in particular, like because of the way Queenbreaker works. Yeah, they'd have to really knock down its aim assist or knock down its impact so that it doesn't one shot to the head. But then that would like kind of get rid of the entire point of having it. Yeah. So there would be some weird things they'd have to do, but I think especially with Darcy, there's no reason for that to not be in the special slot.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for like the linears, for example, like Queenbreakers, they would like severely have to bring down the ammo reserves and the like ammo magazine, if ever they were to bring that to the special slot. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's funny because when the Lawrence Driver launched and then I used it and I saw how sticky it is in PvP. I remember distinctly the thought that I had was, oh, this is why Queenbreakers is still in the heavy slot.
Yeah. That is why.
Yeah. You shoot a gun like Lawrence Driver and you go, oh yeah, this is getting nerfed. Like that was my day one reaction. I went, no, this isn't gonna last long at all.
Oh no.
And no, it did not.
Yeah, they'd have to do. I completely agree that those should be moved to the special slot. They'd have to do something about the way those linears work. Like probably knocking down the aim assist. The stickiness is just way too much.
Because I mean, like it's tough because like aside from reducing the aim assist on those linears, it's like why not just use a sniper at that point? You're handicapping yourself to like a charge time.
Because I don't have to aim.
Well, yeah, that's
I can just shoot it like your general circle, and it'll hit your head.
That's why it's difficult aside from like the aim assist to like balance those things out. Because like, I mean, just use like a Widow's Bite or something at that point.
Yeah. I just make it so that it's only the exotic linear fusions that move to those exotic linear fusions that move to the special slot. That way, at least you're forcing people to give up an exotic slot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that.
Final question of the evening, coming from guess who? The Question Master, Gray Fox 2K30.
Yeah.
With the season finale of the story for now, how do you feel about the first half of the season story? Are you happy Crow knows what he did? Or Mara, some distant stuff with her now brought back brother? Hold on. That sentence. We're not going to go into it. How do you guys feel about the first half of the season story?
I like it.
I dig.
Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah. I think I'm excited to see what happens with Crow. I think that's the big crux here. I would be paying attention to future guests of the podcasts. My name is Bife. Some of his lore videos, and there's some interesting things cooking up.
There's some stuff happening.
So I would.
It's a shame that we have to wait until the end of February to see the rest.
Maybe. Do you think?
Yeah.
Honestly, so we have Festival of the Lost, right?
Right.
And we have the 30th anniversary.
We have the 30th anniversary.
That's going to be its own thing.
At the same time that I'm assuming the Dawning.
Yeah.
The Dawning would be coming.
It's going to be then.
And then
maybe a week or two before, but yeah.
But
then you have a month off.
Aren't there supposed to be like the exorcism ritual things that pop up?
Yeah, you have to wait for a cosmic alignment for that, Dan.
Yeah. I think what Nim's saying is that exorcism is going to happen the week before.
Oh, okay. Okay. That tracks.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I forgot about Moments of Triumph too, being in there.
That's a summer thing, isn't it?
Do they have that listed coming up?
I'm not
Wait,
sure.
hold
No.
on. Maybe Demon Shark is high. Maybe I'm high. We'll figure it out together.
We'll work through this.
Moments is tied to Solstice, isn't it?
That
It's
sounds
usually a summer thing. Yeah.
That's a summer thing. Yeah, that's still like quite a ways away.
Demon
Yeah.
Shark.
To
high.
the
You're
roadmap.
My apologies. My Aporigons.
My poor-
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we that final story bit comes at the very end of the season, as it so normally does.
Yeah, and then we start the Witch Queen story, and then we all pretend like that seasonal story never happened, and then we
Yeah.
Yay!
yeah.
Starts all over again.
Do you think?
Yep.
Okay, so final question before
Uh-huh.
we drop all this, we call it a night.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Do you think the Guardians are goldfish?
Oh my god! All right, Kat, it was a pleasure.
I like
Yeah.
Goldfish.
Now hear me
Kennedy
out.
Tuttle?
Hear me out. We seem not to have that long of a memory.
Yeah. We kind of just forget things
Yep.
really quickly.
I think every
Yeah,
time we
what-
cast our super, it resets our memory.
Ooh,
Oh.
flashing light. Ooh, flashing
no.
light.
Yep.
What am I? Murder.
In 2 years, the Val's gonna say, "Guardian, it's time to go see Aramis." And we're gonna be like, "Who?" Frozen in ice.
Going to be sending
Oh.
us back to Mars, and we're going to act like it's our first time there.
Can I
Yeah.
punch it?
Can I turn it into a gun?
Can I wear it as a hat?
You literally already are, Guardian.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We are indeed goldfish. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, confirming what chat was saying. Also, yeah, December through February, Moments of Triumph
Hey!
did change from a summer event to
Oh shit.
an early year event.
Sweet.
So
Neat.
yeah, I hope you expected to see that cosmic alignment happen on February 22nd.
Yep. We're going to get Dawning, and then 30th anniversary and Moments of Triumph. Then after that, we'll get the story.
Honestly, I would
Yeah,
rather them get
apologize
rid of
for
the
not high.
dawning. I would honestly rather see them get rid of the dawning and just do
Yeah.
Moments of Triumph right at that time because that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carlos.
Like making cookies is fine.
No, it's not.
Don't need to do it
no,
again.
it's not. I hate it.
No, it's not.
We don't need to do it.
I haven't interacted with the dawning event in like 2 years.
They're innovating. This time we're gonna be making those hard candies instead.
Well, I keep
not gonna
looking
make
at
Yeah, instead of cookies, hard candies,
Yeah.
candy canes.
Yeah, we're making candy canes and those hard candies.
I keep looking at
Excellent.
taking butter. It's real weird. It's bad for my
Worthwhile
cholesterol.
difference.
Where are you
great.
taking that butter, Dan?
It's very bad for my cholesterol. It's all going to my hips.
Go straight to your thighs, and then you blow up.
I'm just slowly turning to Mr. Creosote
Yep.
from Monty Python. The
Yeah.
meaning of life. Ah. Good
So yeah, I mean,
times.
no. Come to think about it, like December through February is going to be pretty jam packed because you get the
There's so
you get the
much.
dungeon. Yeah, you get the
Yeah.
dungeon. You
We're gonna
get
get the dungeon,
the
too.
new activity, along with some other like loot rewards. Then Moments of Triumph. Then the Dawning. That's a lot of stuff to keep yourself busy, and that's a lot of stuff for you to distract yourself from the fact that the story's not going to continue until the end of February. So you got stuff, I guess.
One would almost think that's the point.
Yeah, yeah.
Final
Exactly.
question. Do you think we're gonna give Savathun a cookie?
Oh, absolutely. If like they do the Dawning thing again, yeah, we're absolutely.
If
gonna
you
bring
give
her
a
cookie.
Savathun a cookie. Like it
We'll
just
try to
turns
eat
into
your
that
head
book.
off in the next expansion.
Not my favorite children's book.
Mm-mm.
All
Not
right.
feeding no damn mouse a cookie.
Yeah.
My cookie.
Yep.
Why would I give a cookie to a liar?
It's called enabling, Dan.
Yeah. Don't enable the mouse, then it never leaves.
Mm-mm.
So, we're starting to get into some familial territory with me, so we got to get out of here soon.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Well, all right. By popular demand, welcome to the end of the show of episode 297 of the Planet Destiny podcast. This has been a lot of fun. Suttledge, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to have you aboard.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Absolutely. It was great to have you here. We got some great insight from you. I think you got a lot of big, good ideas. And it was a pleasure to have you aboard tonight, man.
Thank you guys again so much.
Right on. Before we get on out of here, of course, we do want to give you an opportunity to let everybody know where they can, where that you can be found all across the internet, where they can read your articles. So if you'd like to take the floor, please do.
Yeah, no, definitely. People can follow me if they want to read my bad takes. You can go to Twitter. It's just at Suttledge. If you want to read my articles and guides when those go thrown up, destinytracker.com, of course. Just click on the little guide link or click on the news. And if you do like the video that you're looking at right now of me, you can get more of that over on my Twitch page. That's at Suttledge as well.
Right on. Make sure you guys go and check them out. Keeping the print media alive. Like I said earlier, man, you took me back to 1998 as I'm a little kid looking at my Nintendo Power guide for Pokemon Red and Blue. It's just like, whoa.
Good. So good.
Feels good. Feels real good. And again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. It was great to have you here.
Thank you, guys.
All right. As for us, Dan, where you at, man?
Oh, hi. My name's Danfinity. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and the TikTok at Danfinity, where the eyes are L's. You can find me on Twitch and oh my God. Every week? You can find me on Twitch 3 days a week, twitch.tv/Danfinity, doing all sorts of heinous crimes. You can find me on this podcast, also doing heinous crimes with all of you guys.
Nonstop.
I'm going to show off a couple of things and then do a couple of announcements for the next few weeks of Planet Destiny, if everybody's ready.
Yeah.
So I got these cool mugs for sale through my merch store. Merch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
StreamElements.
That's amazing.
.com/Danfinity. This one is the Oog t-shirt that was designed by Dr. Jones, and this one I designed, and it has Alicia Rose's little bearded heart that she made for me, and it's the "Be kind, have fun, get shit done" mug. So I think that's perfect for every morning commute where you just stare at your boss just blankly in their stupid face.
Thinking kind thoughts to that. It's on the mug.
Yeah, it's on the mug. And then lastly for me, we have 3 more episodes of the podcast before we go on hiatus. I'm going to go ahead and give the rundown of the guests that we have so far. I'm still working on a couple, on hearing back from a couple of people, but on next week, we will have Gamer Girl Gray for episode 298. We will be skipping Halloween on November 7th for episode 299. We will have Amaze.
Yeah.
And for episode 300, which is November 14th, we have My Name is Bife and possibly another hidden special guest. And after that, we'll be taking a short hiatus leading up to Witch Queen while we figure some stuff out with the podcast and everything. So there you go.
Things I promise. Well, good for me, at least.
I think good things all around, honestly.
I don't know about y'all, chat, but it's going to be good for me. Right on. Man. Stay tuned, buddies. Right on. Yeah, good stuff. So we got a great lineup of shows coming up. Great guests coming down the line.
Yeah.
As we move on towards the monumental show 300. Whew.
I know.
That's a lot of podcast episodes, man.
Yeah,
it's so much.
I think I think I've been a part of like 150 of them, which is super weird.
You've only made it better, I promise you.
We'll see. We'll see. Nim.
Right on. Yep.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Where can we find you?
In a bowl near you.
You can find me pretty much everywhere at /nemplays. So twitter.com/nemplays, twitch.tv/nemplays, where I'm not doing a whole lot of Destiny lately. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Every now and then you can find me on Destiny with Sentinel Grey. Mainly is when I play Destiny nowadays. Doing a whole lot of Dead by Daylight. So if you want to see some asymmetrical, spooky gameplay, you can check me out over on Twitch if you want. It's a good time. So yeah, y'all are cute.
Right on, right on. I dig the Dead by Daylight stuff.
And it's also that game has like hooked me in, dude. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah.
And I agree. Classic outfit for Nemesis, please.
Oh, dude, I am so tired of his piano key teeth looking ass. Don't get me wrong, I love my Nemi boy, but gee, that remake skin is just not it.
Hopefully your cries are heard by Capcom and the Dead by Daylight devs, because
God, I hope.
Love to see a classic Nemesis skin.
Me too.
All right, I guess it just leaves me. Of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. You'll notice I've been putting out videos, but I haven't been having a lot of live streams. That's because I have had a work change, so my schedule's kind of all over the place right now. It's been paradoxically leaving me enough time to make videos, but not enough time to host a couple hour long live stream. We're going to see if we can get that worked out over the course of the week and get back to usual content as soon as possible. But, of course, all the Destiny news videos and all that kind of stuff will be going up on the Planet Destiny YouTube channel at youtube.com/Planet Destiny. Make sure you're staying tuned there. But, all right, everybody, that is it for episode 297 of the Planet Destiny podcast, your guide to This Week in Destiny. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.